Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a video showing you how to maintain your car, some tips and tricks, how to keep your car on the road safe, not having breakdowns or anything. We're going to be checking fluids, topping up fluids, we're going to be checking regular maintenance checks, and checking everything that's going on with your vehicle. First things you want to do, you want to check under the hood, under bonnet, and open the release lever. And usually, this one opens from this way, usually open from the front. You might have a release lever right here, it just automatically opens up. But you want to be checking everything in your car at least once a week, minimally. Now, that includes power steering fluid, brake fluid, coolant, oil, the dipsticks over there, and windscreen washer fluid. Also the air fluid, the air filter, and we're going to go ahead and start checking all this stuff. Now the most important stuff is keeping your engine alive is engine oil and coolant so you don't overheat, but also brake fluid, because brake fluid, if you don't have any brake fluid or you're low, your brakes will not completely work. And power steering assisted steering fluid, you want to have power assisted steering fluid is because if you don't have power assisted steering fluid, you're not going to turn your wheel easily. It's going to be very hard to move your wheel. So let's go ahead and check engine oil and coolant and the brake fluid and power assisted steering fluid. Now let's check the engine coolant. It's really easy. All you have to do is twist the cap. Now if you have a radiator, you want to check the radiator cap. Like every car has a radiator, but the radiator cap, this car doesn't. This car just has the coolant reservoir, and you want to just twist this off and then open it. You want to see in here, this coolant is topped up all the way, and yeah. You also want to see the color of the coolant. Now this is color orange, so you see that's good. But if your color is green, you don't want to put orange fluid. But if your color is green and you see orange, you might want to change it because that's rust. You want to check under the cap, and that's all good. And then what you want to do is just want to tighten this down all the way back securely. Make sure you don't open this when it's hot. You want the engine to be very cold. Right now the engine's cold. We haven't started it since yesterday night, so last night we haven't started it. The next thing is engine oil. This is the engine oil filler cap. You don't want to put oil in here without first checking the fluid. So close that out. This is your dipstick. This is basically your oil checker. What do you want to do? You want to take it out, wipe it clean, put it back inside, and then double check it again. This should give you what your engine oil is. Right now it's maximum. As you see, it's between the minimum and maximum mark. It's fully in the maximum. You don't ever want your engine oil to be low, because if you do, you're going to start hearing knocking and ticking from the engine, and that is not good. That basically means you have a dead engine. So make sure your oil is always topped up. I advise you checking this every week, but if you have an oil leak, then just check it every day after every drive. It's not good to let your engine oil run low. Also your coolant has to run low. Now next thing is going to be power assisted steering fluid. There should be a mark when it's cold and hot of how much power assisted steering fluid you need and what color it is. It's either going to be clear or red, bright red like that right there. Always want to check your owner's manual from topping up these fluids over here. Last but not least is brake fluid. Brake fluid, you always have a minimum and maximum mark. See over here, it's covered up. You can't open it because it's tight. You never want brake fluid. You never want your cap to be open or anything, because brake fluid can leak out and it evaporates easily. It's like alcohol, rubbing alcohol, but it's not rubbing alcohol, so you don't want to put that in there. The next thing we have is the windscreen washer fluid, windshield washer fluid. And you want to check this every time. You see I have some fluid in there. You want it topped off always. Never want it below. This is good for emergency situations when your windscreen is dirty and you want to top it off and put some windscreen out there. And it just squirts out from the squirt over there and it goes through the whole windscreen. It's really good to keep this always topped up. Make sure it never gets low. The next thing you want to check is air filter. Air filter's in here. You want to take these clips out right here. In this car there's 5 clips, and so here's the air filter here, and you see It's in good shape. It's not that dirty. You want to see inside the pleats. You want, if there's any leaves or anything, just lightly dust it off, but not too much, because you don't want the paper to rip. So just lightly dust it off. The K&N filters are cotton, so they breathe in easier. But see the pleats on here. You just want to clean them off. You know, just push it off a little bit. There's leaves in here, so just want to watch out. Air filters, it's in your owner's manual. You want to change them. 20,000 to 30,000 miles for your air filter. So it goes along in your owner's manual, whatever it says, oil, coolant, flush, you know, all the other stuff that's maintenance required. The next thing you want to do is check for engine noise. You don't want to hear knocking or ticking from your engine compartment. All you want to hear is a smooth, like very smooth, nice V8 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder V6. If you hear knocking or ticking, you might want to figure that out very quickly before it escalates way more than it is right now. So here this engine, it's a normal V8 engine right now. Well, make sure you want to look at the gauges. Make sure there's no check engine light or manufactured malfunction indicator light, a lamp, and you want to also check that the coolant level is between cold and medium. You don't want it going over to the hot, because that's when your engine is overheating. There's your miles over there. And now let's go and check the rear of the car. See, it's idling good. Everything's good. You want to go check the rear of smoke. You don't want blue smoke coming out or black smoke. Clear fog is just what you need. Make sure both the banks are high and both banks are smoking perfectly, because if not, then you have a problem there. And make sure the car is not like jittering too much, because that's also a misfire. So you don't want to misfire. You don't want the engine moving or anything. You want everything to be as good as it is. So, you know, that's one thing. You don't want an engine that's sounding like an engine that's knocking. I'll have an example on the screen. So what you just saw there is a knocking engine. It's not my engine, someone else's engine. But this is how a regular engine should sound like. That's how a regular engine should sound like. Then again, you don't want a check engine light or malfunction indicator lamp. If you do have one of those, then you want to go to AutoZone or Advanced, and they'll check it out for free, tell you what's wrong. That's basically it for the engine part. And it shuts off smoothly. That's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear anything that's moving or anything. And that's basically for the engine part. Next up, we're in the trunk or the boot of the car. What you want to do is you want to check around, make sure there's no water in here. You want to check for your spare tire. Make sure you have tread on there if it's new. But you also want to always check the pressure. Not just for the spare tire, but you also want to check the pressure for all 4 of the tires. Check the pressure should be anywhere between 32 to 40. Depends on what car you have. You always want to check the tread. Make sure you see the tread over there. If it's flat now or it's wearing out, you have to replace the tires. Make sure there's no cracking either. This is a brand new tire from the factory, full size Pirelli tire. So you always want to make sure what condition your tire's in. Next, you want to check the battery. You want to check the connections, make sure they're clean and tight. The plate that holds down the battery so it doesn't wobble around. Your positive terminal, make sure that's in good condition. Check around for any loose wires or anything. Also, you want to check the date. This has a 3-year warranty for the battery. Some batteries only have 1-year warranties. So every year when it's summertime and wintertime, I suggest going and checking the battery, the voltage. Any auto part can do that for free also. This is a Autocraft battery, it's an advanced auto part battery. That's good. You got the fuse box here and everything, but just check the battery. You don't want to be stranded on the road. Let's check the battery. After 3 years, and 5 years, after 5 years you want to get the battery replaced. Unless if the car's sitting, you have to get that replaced. But check your battery and everything. Make sure it starts good. Doesn't start very slowly. Because once your car doesn't start, the main culprit is the battery. So you want to check the battery always. The next thing is you always want to see what condition your lights are in. You want to check all the lights, front and back, the side lights and everything. If you have any light that's not working, I suggest you replace that immediately. Because not only you're being safe, you can cause someone getting an accident that you don't know what way they're turning, but also you don't want to get a ticket for that light. But that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was a tip video, and hopefully you learned something out of this and did something with it.